First of all, a very warm good morning to all of you. Today is the first live streaming session for the students of class 12 commerce. I'm going to take the part B from accountancy subject, and the name of the unit is accounting ratio. Before solving the practical aspect of accounting ratio, a student needs to understand the theoretical concept of accounting ratio. Now let's go to the definitions of accounting ratio. Well, before the explanations of accounting ratio, I have switched off the chat box. After the explanations are over, I will open the chat box and you can put your queries, and if your queries are completely related to the topic and if it is relevant, then I will entertain all the questions that you will be asking to me. So let's come back to our topic, that is accounting ratio. Now what do you mean by accounting ratio? According to the definition, it is a mathematical expressions that shows the relationship between the various items, groups of items shown in the financial statements. When ratios are calculated on the basis of accounting informations, they are called accounting ratio. In these definitions, the student need to understand the term mathematical expressions. Now what do you mean by the mathematical expressions? When any values or any groups or any items are converted in the form of numerical value. For example, like if you convert any groups items of particular in mathematical value, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, then we can say that this is a mathematical expressions. Now let's take one examples how we can convert the mathematical expression in the form of ratio. For example, A, B and C are three partners. They have opened a partnership firm and they have contributed a capital for their partnership firm. Let's take an example. For example, A has contributed 30,000 as a capital, B has contributed 20,000 as a capital, C has contributed 10,000 as a capital. You can see that the proportions of their contributions in the partnership firm is not same. Alright, now when we happen to convert the proportions of capital contributions into the partnership firm in the form of ratio, then we can express it in the form of A is to B is to C is equal to 30,000 is to 20,000 is to 10,000. It means the ratio of proportion will be 3 is to 2 is to 1. Remember, in ratio analysis, always you have to convert or you have to express the numerical value in the lowest form. It means let us reduce the 4 zeros from each proportion. Therefore, the final ratio of capital contributions between A, B and C is 3 is to 2 is to 1. This is called the mathematical expressions of relationship in the form of ratio. Let's take another examples. Let me erase. For examples, A consumes 30 apples. Okay, let's take apples. B consume 20 apples. Now what will be the proportions, or what will be the ratio of consumptions between A and B? We can express it in this way, that is A is to B is equal to 30 is to 20. Then what will be the ratio? The ratio will be 3 is to 2. It means the capital contributions, or it means the consumptions of A and B is in the ratio of 3 is to 2. So we have to convert in this form. Now let us go to the various classifications of accounting ratio. The first classification is current ratio. Now what is the definitions of current ratio? This ratio establishes the relationship between the current asset and current liabilities and is used to assess the short-term financial positions of the business concern, organizations, or business setup. The current ratio is of 2 is to 1 is considered to be an ideal. It means the ideal current ratio is always 2 is to 1. Now what is the meaning of current asset? Current asset are those assets which can be easily converted into cash within a short period of time. Now when we talk about short period of time, normally 1 year or the operating business cycle, the normal operating business cycle, that is 1 year. Now let us discuss current liabilities. Now what do you mean by current liabilities? Current liabilities are a company's short-term financial obligations. This word is very important, that are due within 1 year or within a normal operating cycle. Now what do you mean by obligations? Obligations means the responsibility. Okay, the responsibility. The company are responsible to pay all the current liabilities that they have taken from the various sources. The company may in need of money to run their day-to-day activities. For the requirement of their money, they may take the help of capital from the different sources, like it may be from bank, maybe from organizations, or maybe from any individuals. So it is the responsibility or the obligations of any company to pay back all the current liabilities before winding up or before the completions of their financial sessions. Now let us discuss what are the various items or particulars that include in current asset. Before that, you need to know the formula of current ratio. Current ratio is equal to current asset and current liabilities. Now what are the various items that includes in current asset? Normally only those items are put on paper or put on questions paper in AHSEC examinations. You won't get any items beyond these particulars in any questions if we go back and see the previous year's questions paper from 2013 onwards. Now let's discuss what do you mean by sundry. Sundry debtors. Now sundry means it is the very negligible, okay, which are not important. Sundry debtors means the amount of negligible amount, means small amount that are supposed to be received by the company, by the entities, or by any organizations. Now stocks means finished product which are yet to be sold out in the market. Okay, those finished product will be sold out within the financial year or within 1 year. Now cash in hand, we know that to run the day-to-day business we need cash, and we have like cash at bank. When any firm or business organizations need any cash, then they can go and withdraw money from the bank. So sundry debtors, stock, cash in hand, cash at bank are considered as a current asset. Now let us go back to the prepaid. Prepaid means when you pay something in advance. For example, Mr. A lives in rent. Okay, as we know that May month is going on. Now if is Mr. A pay the full amount for the month of May, for example 1500 is the rent per month. Now if Mr. A pays 1500 for the month of May, then this some of the portion amount from this 1500 will be considered as a prepaid, because still Mr. A has not use the services. Okay, in simple terms we can say that when someone pays something in advance without using the services, then we call it as a prepaid. Now short-term securities means where some securities are invested for a very short period of time, maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, or maybe for 1 year. Marketable securities. After that we have bills receivable. Bills receivable means the amount of money that are supposed to be received within 1 year by the companies, by the entities, or by any organization. And at last we have inventories. Now what do you mean by inventories? Okay, inventory means work in progress. All right, work in progress. It means, for example, a manufacturing unit has manufactured one product. Okay, one product. As we know that simply manufacturing the product is not sufficient. After manufacturing the product, there are so many things that has to be done. For example, like branding. Your branding is important. After that we have like packaging, labeling. I don't know the spelling is correct or no. Labeling. So unfinished products are kept in the inventories, but those products will be sold out within 1 year. So these are the items which includes in the current asset. The students are asked to write it down in your notebook. Now let us go back to the next slide, that is current liabilities. Now what are the various items or the particulars that involve in current liabilities? First we have sundry creditors. Same, if the company has taken any money from the different sources, it is the obligations for any concern or any organizations to pay back the amount that they have taken. Sundry creditors means small amount, negligible amount that has to be that is supposed to be paid by the organizations. Next we have bills payable. If company purchase some raw material for manufacturing any product, especially for the current year, in that case the company has to pay the bill. Tax payable. If the tax has to be paid within 1 year, that's why it includes in current liabilities. Outstanding expenses. Okay, outstanding can be like rent outstanding, rent. We have like salaries, electricity, etc. Okay, outstanding means you have used the service but still you have not paid the amount that is supposed to be paid. Next we have like bank overdraft. Bank overdraft include in current liabilities. Now when we talk about bank overdraft, let's take an example. Suppose Mr. X wants to purchase some product through online, and the cost of that product is, for example, 1200, but Mr. X has got only 1000 in his account. Now he needs again 200. Okay, 200 to purchase that particular product. In that case, if Mr. X has got a current account and if he has got a good dealings with the bank and the transactions are quite satisfactory, in that case the bank may allow 200 extra for Mr. X. That 200 amount will be considered as a bank overdraft. We need to remember that the interest on bank overdraft is very, very high. Next we have like trade creditors, income received in advance. Okay, if someone or if any organizations takes money without giving services to that organizations or to that individual, then in that case that amount will be considered as a what, a current liabilities, because he has not given the services. Next we have like a dividend payable. Okay, dividend are paid to the shareholders, equity shareholders. When any company earn profit, then the dividend holder are entitled to the equity shareholders are entitled to have a dividend. So dividend are paid quarterly, half yearly, and um, within a year. Provisions for taxes. So these are the some items that includes in current liabilities. The students are asked to record all those items in their respective copies. Now let us solve some of the questions which are being asked in the previous AHSEC examinations. Okay, this question was asked in the year 2015. From the following, calculate current ratio. First we have here sundry debtors. As I have already given the items which include in the current asset, so sundry debtors is current asset. Stock is a current asset. Prepaid is a current asset. Sundry creditors is a current liabilities. Bank overdraft is a current liabilities. And at last we have a dividend payable is a current liabilities. As we know that the formula for current ratio is current asset by current liabilities. Now you just need to write all the items of current asset here. Current asset is equal to sundry debtors plus stock. Okay, I'm not quite comfortable with the smart pen. Stock plus prepaid expenses plus that's all. Then write all the value. That is sundry debtors is 50,000 plus stock is 40,000 plus prepaid is 20,000 2,000, and the total amount is 92,000. Total amount is 92,000. Now let us write the items of current liabilities. Current liability is equal to sundry creditors plus bank overdraft plus dividend payable, dividend payable. Okay, I'm going to write here. Amount will be your sundry creditor is 38,000 plus bank overdraft 10,000 plus dividend payable is 10,000, and at last we have, or that's all, and the total amount is 58,000. 30, 40, 50, and that side 8. Now what will be the current ratio? As we know that current ratio is equal to current asset by current liabilities. Then put the value, that is current asset we have 92,000 divided by 58,000. Reduce all the zeros, and after that you can reduce here also. 58 is not divisible by 4, then we can write it 2 into 4, 8, 2, 6, 2 to 4 to 9. It means the ratio is 46:29. Try to convert this ratio in the lowest form. Okay, so this is the solutions for 2015 questions paper based on current ratio. Now if you have any problem in understanding, then you can ask me even in the offline sessions or in the comment sections when I happen to open the chat box. Now let us move to the next questions. Remember, I'm going to upload the same streaming video on my YouTube, and you can go back to my YouTube channel and you can see it if you have any confusion in understanding. Alright, this questions was asked in the year 2016. Same machine is a fixed asset, so it will not be calculated in current ratio. Debentures is not included. Bank overdraft is a current liabilities. Sundry creditors is a current liabilities. Prepaid is a current asset. Stock is a current asset, and sundry debtors is a current asset. So as we know that current ratio is equal to current asset by current liabilities. Now current asset is equal to prepaid plus stock plus sundry debtors. Okay, put the value, that is 4,000 plus 80,000 plus 1 lakhs, and the total amount will be 1,84,000. Next we have current liabilities. In current liabilities, the items are sundry or bank overdraft. Next we have sundry creditors. That's all, only 2 items are included in current liabilities. The amount are 20,000 and 76,000. 20,000 plus 76,000, and the total amount will be 96,000. As we know that current ratio is equal to current asset by current liabilities. Now put the value. Current asset 184,000, and after that 96,000. Remove that 30 and that's also 30. So you will get it 184 by 96. We can reduce it. 4 into 4, 16. 4 7 ja 28, 4 2 ja 8, 4 4 ja 16. We will be getting the ratio in the form of 47:24. So students are asked to reduce in the lowest form. So this is the solutions Now let us move to the next questions. The questions were set up in the year 2017. Exactly, you have to find the same, that is calculate the current ratio. Sometimes the questions may be asked to find the current asset and current liabilities. So I'll be teaching all those topic in the upcoming videos. We have here sundry debtors is equal to current asset, stock is also current asset, prepaid is a current asset, sundry creditors is current liabilities, bank overdraft is a current liabilities, interest payable is a current liabilities, debentures will be not included, buildings is a fixed asset. So as usual, current ratio is equal to current asset by current liabilities. So put all the amount of current asset, that is sundry debtors plus stock plus prepaid expenses AXPN. So that's all for current asset, and the amount are, we have 10,000 for sundry debtors, stock 8,000, prepaid 6,000. That's all, only 3 items. Then we 24, that is 24,000. Now next we have current liabilities. In current liabilities, the items are sundry creditors, plus bank overdraft plus interest payable plus, that's all, only 3 items are there. The amount are, sundry creditors is 8,000, we have bank overdraft 2,000, plus we have interest payable 2,000, and the total amount is 12,000. As we know that current ratio is equal to current asset by current liabilities. Now put the value, CL is equal to, current ratio is equal to 24,000 by 12,000. It means reduce this one, 12 2, it means the ratio is 2:1. So this is the current ratio. So rest of the questions we are going to solve in the upcoming videos. Now let's go to the chat box.